Hello.
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 Hello. Thank you for coming and learning the pieces. Um, do you have any questions particularly, or?
On pages 6 through 7, you have these rippling, rolling chords in between these melodic lines, these very short melodic lines. The thing is, you repeat them very, many times, and it's quite a challenge to make sure that the melody flows on and continues on, the pacing is correct. So, what were you? What kind of sound effect were you trying to intend, and what is the purpose of these rolling chords?
Well,
pages 6 through
the
7?
rolling chord, obviously, if you play it with two hands,
Yes.
it would be simple, correct?
Yes.
Wouldn't be a problem. But you're playing it only with one hand, so these rolling chords, they have to create the color. They have to create the harmonic bed, if you will, that your left hand would do, when you play the melody.
Right.
So the challenge is making that harmonic sound and the color, and then playing the melody on top of that, so it sings. And each and also and I liked a lot of I liked everybody's playing. Everybody that played my piece this afternoon was phenomenal, because everybody had a completely different interpretation. Totally different. Some people took 7 minutes, some 10, and 5, which is great. So you hear these different interpretations. And if you play it again, which I hope you will, those notes, the chords, they continue rolling. You don't always have to play 2, 3, 4. It's free. It's like several phrases. I mean, the second phrase, you can play it faster. You can play it, it's more impressionistic, it's more free. It's, you know what I mean? It doesn't all have to be metronomic.
Makes sense.
Metronomic. Like, even in opera, in fact, if that line was sung, ti-dee-da-dum, ti-dee-da-da, it gives, it takes, it breathes. It's not just those notes. It's how it moves within the phrase. It's not Beethoven. It's impressionistic. It's the feel. I wouldn't care if you played 7 beats in that measure if you create a mood and you hold me with your mood. It's not important how fast it is. It's not important how metered it is. I know it's important to have the numbers there to give you an indication of what you should do. But this music is impressionistic. It's not, not classical or Beethoven, Mozart. So, makes sense? So I didn't answer anybody. Just play it. You understand? Yes, ma'am.
Why did you write it for the left hand only?
Good question. Good question.
Now, why did I write it for the left hand only? Well, because I can't use my right hand right now. I was inflicted with a stroke 2.5 years ago, and it's what I'm doing right now, and it's a challenge. It's a challenge for me as a composer, and for you as a performer. Why me? How come? Is it a challenge? Well, you have to create the whole orchestra with 5 fingers, not 10. And I think you did today. You created the whole orchestra and pictures, beautiful pictures with 5 fingers. It's great. Great. Well, I did.
Can you repeat the question?
How did I choose the Beatles song in the style of Bach? Well, in 1985, I did a record called Bach Meets the Beatles, where I took all the Beatles music and improvise in the style of Bach. And then Hard Day's Night came on the second, on the volume 2, Bach on Abbey Road. So it's been with me for many years.
So what was your inspiration for the Winter Tableau?
The question.
What was my inspiration for Winter Tableau? The inspiration, one of the best ways to become inspired is having a deadline. And I knew the piece had to be written by a certain time, and I knew I had to get in my head what I wanted to write. And I just went to the piano and I was playing, and the first chord, the F sharp, C sharp, D, G natural, I just started playing that chord over and over, and letting the harmony soak in, and I said, ooh, I like that. And it was, if you'll notice on the score, it says bleak. I had an idea of bleak, of alone thing. And it was interesting today, hearing so many interpretations, like with yours, that I don't remember your name, but the second person that played, it was like, for me, it was like listening to this piece was like walking through a Japanese garden, like with bamboo and birch trees and white, and it was so, because I've been to Japan many times, and it was the first time I ever thought of that. And then some other people, I originally conceived it more Russian, more like snow and a Russian landscape with the soulful melody, and somebody having a great love affair, and a beautiful woman with sable and great person, samovar and all these Russian things. But today I got a taste of the Orient with my piece, and I appreciated it so much. It was very great. She said, Mrs. Mortensen said that. I'm quoting. I'm not bragging. We're lucky to have a living composer with a living piece of music that's evolving every performance and every day.
Amen.
Yeah. I love the way you played the piece. I was really honored, and I was so nervous. Like before anyone played this afternoon, I was sitting in the back, and my hand was like sweating. It was like I was going to play myself. I was sweating for you. You did me proud. Thank you so much. Thank you.